Okay, well, welcome to the live broadcast. So I guess first and foremost, happy day out of time. And for some, that'll mean nothing. And for others, it means the world. So today we're holding a little, what I call a Mayan Satsang. So this Mayan Satsang is basically a little space that I just open up, where I drop into the feeling, the energies, in a sense, of the Mayan Tzolk'in that we're tracking. And in doing so, I drop in and kind of feel out what I find in there. You know, what I find in these energies that are moving around, and what I see in the cycles that we're tracking. So the next kind of 20 minutes to half an hour is essentially going to be me just rambling on, sharing with you all the kind of insights that I've been getting about, you know, the year that we're closing up today and the year that we're opening up tomorrow. So I'm just going to talk a little bit and introduce at the moment, allow people just to kind of roll on as they're coming. So, all right, so thanks, Jason. I'll check the audio sound there. And so bear with me a little bit as I get the technicalities right, as this is all pretty new territory to me. And there's going to be a delay of possibly around 15 to 30 seconds between any questions that come up on my other screen here and when I answer them. So also, if you have a look on your screen, you know, you'll be watching the YouTube video, but underneath there, just in case you haven't seen it, there is a chat function. So if you pop on that chat function, you can basically pop in any questions and I'll answer them as I get around to it, hopefully. So Jason, if you're tracking this, my friend, can you let me know if the sound volume is high enough now? And anyone else, if you're having any issues, if your audio is not working, you know, loud enough, etc. I mean, you can always try turning up on your device, but let me know and I'll see what I can do. Okay. So I'm going to leave it like that for now and let's get started. So for those that haven't been tracking the 13 moon calendar, what we're looking at today is what a beautiful visionary called Jose Arguelles, also known as Volum Votan, would call as a synchronization device. So it's a calendar is basically a synchronization device. You know, we use the Gregorian calendar and have done for quite a while to synchronize our behaviors between individuals with the collective. So for example, to synchronize this event, I've had to use the Gregorian calendar to help all of us know what time, what day, so that we can all synchronize in the right time, right place. Now, one of the problems we've got with the Gregorian calendar and the way that we track time in general is that the Gregorian calendar is deeply disharmonic. You know, 12 months, all the months have different days. It's way out of whack. It's constantly changing. So what that has as a byproduct is it affects our mental space of our collective. So it's affecting the mental space of us individually and affecting the mental space of those around us. So in a sense, what we're talking about is changing the way that we perceive time and changing the way that we interact with time. And the energy that we combine with time, changing the formula, changing what we're trying to create. So what we're looking at when you track the Galactic Mayan weather reports that I put out on Facebook and YouTube, and when you're tracking the 13 moon calendar, is a more natural harmonic. So you're using a more natural synchronic device or a synchronization device. So what I'm trying to say essentially is by tracking these cycles we're going to talk about today, it helps us to become more in sync with the planetary alignment themselves. So more in sync with the earth, with the heartbeat of the earth, more in sync with the animals on this planet, with each other. And we enter this space we call, you know, the noosphere, which is this collective mental sheath. And if we allow ourselves to sink in with these natural cycles, it allows us to be able to essentially live our lives through synchronicity. So, you know, synchronicity, you know, coincidence, happenstance, you know, it's this idea that things just seem to magically line up. Now, synchronicity is actually a divine science. That's a very real thing. And it happens when we are flowing in our natural state and we're allowing our hearts to be open so that we can connect through the noosphere or the collective mind to each other, to the planet, and to all the other aspects that come into our lives. And when we're fully connected into that space, telepathy is very active. And that telepathic capacity allows us to be able to really work in harmony with each other, to synchronize like perfect gears, synchronizing and meshing so that our lives can be much more in flow. It doesn't mean they're all going to be love and light, but it does mean it will be more flow, and because life is about the lows and the highs. So again, really what we're looking at is how can we surrender to the flow? And the 13 moon Mayan calendar is an incredible, or 13 moon natural time calendar is an incredible tool that can help facilitate that. So enough rambling about that. I think that's, okay, thank you guys. So the audio is good to hear. Thanks for the tip off, Jason. Jason, beautiful brother of mine, sitting in an airport at the moment, offering me a bit of backup support over there. So thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. So let's get started with the satsang. So what I'm going to do is just ask anyone who's tuned in right now, just to take a few deep breaths and really just see, even if there's noise around wherever you are, just kind of let that be and just take a moment to really breathe. So just breathing in deep. And even if you're watching this in the future, if you're watching this tomorrow or the recording down the track, by tuning in right now and taking this breath right now, you can join us in this frequency. Time is radial, not linear. So happy to have you with us from the future. Now, so everyone together, we just breathe in nice and deep, breathing through the nose, right down into your base, right down to the root, yeah? And fill your body with oxygen. And then when you breathe out, just relax. And we're just going to do 3 breaths together, and then we'll start with the satsang. So now breathing together, breathe in through the nose. Now breathing in again through the nose. And one more through the nose. And release. Okay. So now we've all slowed down. We're all back in sync. Now let's have a dance. So the first thing I want to look at is where we have come from. So what brings us to today? Because in the 13 moon calendar, today is a very special day. It's what we call the day out of time. It's the one day that we remove from the calendar. We don't call it any day. We call it not Monday, not Tuesday. It's day out of time. And simply in doing that, synchronizes the entire year. We get 13 months of 28 days each perfectly. Perfect harmony. We take one day out, and that's today. So it's a very special time to be together. So here we are sitting what's called the day out of time. The day out of time is a day that we take out and reserve for celebrating the concept of time is art. That's the way we combine our energy with the time frequency that's around us in order to create art. Art, from my interpretation, my personal interpretation, is all about, art is inspired creations from the heart. Basically, creations inspired from the heart. So time is art doesn't mean we can't have business. It doesn't mean you can't have electronics or vehicles or any of these things that have come with technology in the mainstream that's moved through. But what it means is that instead of, we've been living a cycle of time frequency, we call energy factored by time equals money. So what that's trying to say is we have been living this frequency of all the energy that we combine with time has been focused on creating money. It's been focused on creating profit, fueled by this fear survival and those kind of mechanisms. And that's been part of the evolutionary function. It's gotten us to this certain point in our evolution, and the frequencies are changing, the gears are changing. So what we are going through right now is one of the greatest shifts of our humanity. And we are all blessed to be part of this shift, for all that it can really hurt at times, and for as much intensity as it is. We all came in to take part in this grand shifting of gears. And when these gears change, we're like the ones that are putting in the clutch on the car. We got to put the clutch in to ease off the gears so they don't grind too much. Well, there's a lot of grinding going on. So what we need to look at is, why are we here? Where are we now? And where are we going? And in doing that right now, it's going to help us move into the next part of this journey tonight, which will be the meditation to release and to forgive and to be prepared for what's coming. So where have we come from? Well, on the bigger scale of things, we are in a 13-year process of purification at the moment. I think it was 1996 approximately. We had the year of the red magnetic moon, which initiated a process of purification and returning to flow. That's been thumping through in many different ways over the years. And we are finishing a year of what's called the White Planetary Wizard. So I've talked about this a lot in the Mayan weather reports, and I've talked about this a lot in the Mayan satsangs and meditations I have here in Perth, and I've rambled about it on and on. So I'm just going to touch a little bit on it here. That the White Planetary Wizard is the galactic signature of Elton John. Imagine. That's what we've been living. Now, this has been a deep year. It's how we've been manifesting this, it's how we're allowing this energy of the red moon to come into our collective. And the planetary wizard is about increasing our state of receptivity so that we can fully imbibe the new energies that are coming in. Because if we are to move forwards, we have to be able to open our vehicles up and allow that transmission to enter into us. And allow ourselves to essentially get rid of the old programs and make way for the new. So it's been an intense year. The planetary wizard, it's the shaman, it's the jaguar, it's the white wizard. I always think of the white planetary wizard, this energy is, it's like, if you want magic, you have to crack the back of reality. You have to crack through the illusion of reality, because as long as you are believing in the stories that we are pumping out amongst each other all the time about how real things are, realism, be real, stop daydreaming, it's going to be raw, then we can't create the magic that we need to create right now. We cannot enchant our reality if we do not allow our mindsets to crack open, if that makes sense. So this white planetary wizard has been like the shaman that's kind of, chopping the chicken necks and spilling blood, and all these different things that can be really gritty and intense. But what they do is they shake up the norm. They shake it up so that we start, we're hanging on for our dear lives, and we start losing our grip because it's shaking so much that we have to fall. And when we fall is when we begin to wake up. It's when we begin to be fully empowered. Hi, Pink Laugh from Philippines. Beautiful. So again, thank you everyone for joining us from all over the world today. So it's been an intense year. And as much as I would like to say that it's going to, give some break, we are in the eye of one of the greatest transformations of our time. And as such, we need to start learning to love the storm. And we need to learn how to surf in this storm, because there's more to come. But there's good news. So that's where we've been. Today, the day out of time falls on the white planetary mirror in the red moon wave spell. So there's a lot of synchronicities happening. And this white planetary mirror today, specifically, has been really supporting us in a sense, looking at the grittiness, looking at our mirrors, because I'm going to be sharing a Mayan weather report on my Facebook page. So there's a bit of information under this video of where you can like that page and track the information. But just to give you a little teaser, the vision that I always see with a mirror is, you walk into your bathroom every day, and so just imagine this. You all walk into the bathroom every single day and, do your things, brush your teeth, look at yourself, and sometimes you feel beautiful and sometimes you feel really ugly. Nothing's changed. It's only your perception. It's all down to perception. Everything is down to perception and awareness. So we look in the mirror and we see what we see. Now, mirrors themselves do not lie, but the perception, it does. Now, one of the things that can make it a bit tricky sometimes when you're looking in a mirror and you have to face harsh truths about yourself is quite often, if you look closely, you'll see that your mirror is actually dirty. I had a look at mine today and it's pretty grotty. And you won't even notice. So I challenge all of you, after this transmission's over, not now, after the transmission's over, go and check out the mirrors in your bathroom and have a close look. And one of the most amazing things that I've watched, whenever it's rent inspection, which is usually what motivates me to clean my mirrors, you give those mirrors a scrub and suddenly you realize just how clean they can be. And as a byproduct, you suddenly realize just how dirty your mirror has been for so long. But you don't really notice your mirror is dirty until you clean it. So it reminds me of a book by Ram Dass, Polishing Your Mirror, or something along these lines. And this is essentially what today is all about. If you're anything like me or anyone else in my close vicinity, it's been an intense time at seeing really deep reflections of things within myself that I need to work on. Really where I'm losing touch with myself and, trying to control. So today is really a day encouraging us to clean our mirrors. So what that basically means is start really working on your awareness. Have a look at what programs in your mind, what kind of judgments you're carrying from your childhood, from your schooling, from your life experience, from your family, from all those different cultural influences, etc. And have a look and question, are these actually tainting my perception of what the world is trying to reflect to me? Because in the end, we need to clean in here. And when we can clean in here, we can see much clearer what that reflection is about. But if we get all scared and we've got all this fear, and we've got all this muckiness kind of all in our minds and this busyness and the rest, then what happens is when someone, for example, reacts in a way towards us, instead of just realizing that they're a bit insecure and they just had a reaction, we suddenly see that reaction through all of this programming that's kind of all over our faces. So what we start seeing is, oh, they don't like me. Oh, I've done something wrong. Oh, I'm a horrible person. Or, I'm a beautiful person because look how happy that person is. But the fact is, these interactions aren't really personal. That person is getting their reflection and you're getting yours. So what we need to do today is begin the process of focusing on our own reflection and what it means for us, not what it means for everybody else. So try to minimize your conversation about others and try to increase your conversation, preferably with yourself, in here, with your own being. Hello from Sri Lanka, Sarah and Amethyst and Aiki and Bobby and Jason and everyone else that's joined us today. So we're entering a new year tomorrow, and the new year beginning is the year of the Blue Spectral Storm. So Blue Spectral Storm begins tomorrow. Now, what that means is that we've got a whole new archetype beginning to evolve through that's going to last for 13 months of 28 days each until July 25th, 2017. The overall energy that is being evolved through these 13 months in 13 different ways, which I'll talk about in my Galactic Mind weather reports. Again, subscribe below and tune in for those. What we're basically seeing is we've spent 9 years preparing with purification, We've spent one big year cracking the back of reality. You can see it in our economics are falling apart. You can see it in our politics worldwide. Global politics have become chaotic. Global economy has become chaotic and is falling apart. All of these things that we used to trust in and thought were safe are now broken. And that's a good thing. That was the job of the White Planetary Wizard. It has cracked the back of our collective reality. But that means it's a bit insecure right now. It's a bit scary. But the beautiful news is, in a sense, is that this 10 years finishing today, that's the hard work. You know, that's been a lot of hard work. And the next year is a spectral tone. Now, the spectral tone is where we now begin to liberate ourselves from the process. We begin to release ourselves from the intensity of this, purification that's been going on. So the Blue Spectral Storm, the way I perceive it is this energy is all about, in a sense, starting tomorrow, we're going to begin to work on finding ourselves, finding our way into the eye of the storm. So what we're going to work on for the next 13 months is our capacity to dance in the rain, our capacity to celebrate in the storm, to allow the winds to blow all around, to allow all of those stable old structures that we've been using for so long just to collapse. And trust in the storm, because the storm is what opens the heart. The storm is what opens the doorway to compassion. And so what I'm trying to say is, do not try to stop your world from falling apart, because what a storm does, I talk about the storm a lot every time it comes up. I am a storm, I love storms. And essentially, when you think of this blue storm archetype, it's the archetype of the world changer. So it's one of the energies responsible for actually making change happen. It's a transforming agent of world change. So when you think about it and you feel into a storm as a storm's coming, then, you can, in fact, take a moment right now and just visualize this. A storm is coming, especially a hot summer's day. You can feel it just before the storm comes. The atmosphere begins to change, the pressure changes, and basically the energy starts getting stuck in the air. And you can feel it's almost like everything winds into this absolute stillness, the quiet before the storm. And what that is all this energy sucking up and getting pent up in the atmosphere. And then suddenly the lightning and the thunder, crashes through. And that lightning and the thunder, what that is all that stagnant, stuck energy that's in the clouds, in the atmosphere, is being cracked and released back into the earth. That's why you see lightning hitting the ground. It's earthing this energy that needs to return to the earth. It needs to return to become self-generating and play its part within the collective. If it stays stuck in the atmosphere, it gets stagnant and stuck. So what the storm does is it releases that energy and it comes back and begins to be self-generating and begins to be empowered and begins to make change. So that's the storm releasing stuck energy. So we're going to be releasing a lot of stuck energy over the next year. Talk a bit more about that in a second. But the next aspect to think about with the blue storm, hey Richard, thanks for joining in. Next thing to think about with the blue storm is that's coming as of tomorrow. Not only does a storm crack open and release this energy that gets stuck, but what it also does is it washes away any structures that are not built on solid foundations. So this is a really big thing to contemplate. Think about it. When a big storm comes through, a big hurricane, goes through, any of these places where there's a big storm comes in, it destroys anything that is not built stormproof. Yeah. So if something's sitting on loose foundations, it will be ripped up and torn away. And that's devastating. It is. and it's scary, totally is. But we need to build structures that will last now. We need to stop building structures, and I'm talking metaphorically here. We need to stop building structures in our lives that are built for profit. We need to start building structures in our lives that are built for art. They need to be inspired creations that can stand the tests of time. We need to come together and share our technologies of all kinds. We need to share our humanity together so that we can begin to ground in all of these incredible technologies that are coming. We need to come together to build a solid foundation to our future. So the storm has to come in first to smash it out. It's coming in to clear out the old energy. We have a lot of old structures right now. So if I was to make predictions, I would say we've got 13 moons to come ahead, and take these very lightly. I'm not a psychic or self-declared predictor of any kind. But looking at this information and looking at what I've seen globally, I predict that over the next 13 months, we're going to see our political systems actually get washed out and our economic systems get washed out. Politically, I see new systems coming in, such as here in Australia, we have the Flux Party, and we're going to basically see technology beginning to be implemented to its full capacity so that everybody can now start to take part in what's much closer to a true democracy. But before we can allow that technology to empower us with a real democracy, with a real capacity to work together, we need to allow the old system to fall away. And so the blue storm is going to trigger a lot of this to happen. And a lot of it can be a bit intense, so my advice is let it happen and just take care of your own world, take care of your own space, your own personal environment, and don't get too caught up in what's happening out there. Send all the love and light in the world, but stay present in your own heart and focus on your own family and your own environments and find stability there. And then send that stability and that love out to the others in the collective. Don't try to fix the collective first. Yeah. So as far as the economic system, economics, our current economic system was designed to collapse. It can't maintain itself. It simply can't. And we're living essentially in a slavery system by definition. No conspiracy necessary. It's very blunt and blatant to see. Now, the beauty of this is that the economic system is beginning to collapse too, and many economists, etc., are seeing it. A lot of people are talking about the basic income. Now, this is just the beginning of new ways of looking at the workforce. We no longer have to look at the workforce as something we have to enter. We can use technology and all the resources that are available, including free energy that is very close to being available. And if not free energy, well, we've got plenty of other types that are here. We're about the storm, the spectral storm is about to liberate and release these technologies, such as free energy, such as all these other things are going to start coming out. So economics is going to change because we don't need to fight over not having enough, because we're going to begin to allow the technologies to provide everything we need. Unemployment is basically saying that, if we've got high levels of unemployment, what that says is the jobs are getting done. Everything's getting done. So right now, employment, work, jobs are simply working as in a sense, mechanisms to distribute income. We don't need the work. There are certain things that needs to be done, but when we use technology, we scrape off so many jobs that are necessary that in the end, there's actually not all that much. And there's so many people that really want to do it. So what we're going to start seeing is a complete overhaul of how we see economics. We're going to see an overhaul of how we participate with economics. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen in 1 year. But what I do predict is that what we're witnessing right now is the beginning of the catalyst. We're seeing, 2016 is going to be remembered for a long time. So just breathe and be really respectful of yourself that you made it this far and that you're still a player in the game. So you're doing awesome. Now, like I say, it's not going to happen overnight. So with this blue spectral storm and all the change that is bringing, what we need to start working on is how we can use our different facilities, use our different tools and things to be able to find ourselves into the eye of the storm. You would have heard of this concept of the eye of the storm. In the center of a storm is where they say it is the most still, the most quiet, like a hurricane whirling around, and there's this really eerie, strange, quiet place in the center which isn't getting touched. So what you want to do is basically create an environment for yourself where just take the responsibilities you have, your ability to respond. Respond to what is in your life. Do not get caught up in what is outside of your life. You can only do so much, and that is your job. Take care of what is yours. And first and foremost, we spend so much time going outwardly to, think of how we can fix these grand problems of the world. And then we run away from our own families. We run away from our own relationships. And we try to hide ourselves within Facebook, thinking we're doing the right thing by donating money and sharing this and doing this. And look, there's not saying you shouldn't do those things. But we often use those things and they take us away from the real work. The real work is in here. Yeah. So when this storm is collapsing outside, take a moment to remember that it's just an illusion. It's a reflection. It's a reflection of the incredible change that is happening within your genetic structure as we are moving from one species to a next within the human race. We are moving into a whole new time, a whole new paradigm. And it is not going to happen with the drop of a hat. It is going to happen when you and I and everybody else steps up, takes responsibility for our own beings, and does the work. And it's a hell of a lot of fun if you can find the eye of the storm. And that means we really need to be real. We need to be transparent. We need to be authentic with ourselves. We need to honor ourselves. So trust in change, because it's the only thing that's constant. Trust that the change is already underway and you do not have to do it. And trust that your work is in your life. It's with your families. Doesn't mean you have to become best buddies, but we need to move from reaction to response. So we need to stop reacting and we need to start responding to the change around us. We need to focus less. We need to focus 10% on what we're having to change, so the shadow side of our world, but we need to put 90% of our focus on what's coming, on the new change that's happening. So let's focus on what the world is going to be like when we unleash the amount of technology that is ready right now. When energy is no longer a costly thing, when everyone can have free energy, when everyone can have food, when everyone can have abundance in all forms, when you can work doing what you love, not just to make $1 so that you can get by. Start focusing on how we'd like the world to be, and let's start making changes in our own lives towards that. So start making changes in your own life that actually bring those kinds of shifts into your life. Don't wait for everyone else. Don't wait for the economic systems to catch up. Don't wait for the political systems to catch up. Because in the end, we are empowering them to be what they are now. So take responsibility and let's create a new way. And we have to start with us first. So Blue Spectral Storm that's coming. It's a super exciting year. And it's a super exciting year. I can't tell you, I wish I could just, and soon we will be able to have it so that I can just kind of transmit what I see in my head onto the screen for you. Because what I see I'm blessed to be connected all over the world with amazing people. And, no words can explain what's coming. It's mind-blowing, and all we need to do is step up and open our hearts and be ready for it. And it's pretty crazy times. So I think I'm going to leave it there for now with the satsang. I mean, I could talk for hours and hours and days and ramble on, but it won't do us much good. In the end, the change is happening. So just try to dance in the rain. Stay as optimistic as you can when you can. When you get bowled over and dumped by a big tidal wave, which I've been done recently, it's been hard these last days. I mean, this red moon really gets a storm like me, if not everyone else. We're in the red moon wave spell right now. And it's been tough, you know, but doing something like even this transmission right now, leading up to here, like minutes beforehand, it was intense. I was in a very scattered, chaotic place. But when I committed myself, when I was determined to fulfill this, and I sat down and I locked in, I took a moment to breathe. I feel invincible. And that is the power that you have within you. No one can take away from you. You let them take it. So remember, when things get tough and things get really hard, go easy on yourself and go easy on the other. We're all struggling. We all want a better world. But we're not going to get it through fighting. So as soon as you can, stop and breathe. Breath is your secret tool. It's your secret weapon in the next year to come, your breath. So remember to breathe deep, because as the great Richard Rudd from the Gene Keys says, when you breathe deep into your body, right to your base, when you breathe right deep into your body, you're filling your body with oxygen. And stress can't actually exist within your form while you're breathing correctly. So watch yourself next time you get stressed and watch how your breath becomes very shallow. It becomes very shallow. And just bring your breath and bring it deep. Slow down. Take yourself away from the chaos. And what you'll find is using that breath, you will find the eye of the storm. You will find a point where you feel peaceful, you feel connected, and everything will move around you. And you'll be back in the flow again. But don't go hard on yourself when you lose touch, Just really remember how much you are loved. Remember how connected you are to the rest of the world and that no one is alone right now. And be assured that the whole world is going through this together. Nobody gets away without having to do the work. And if they're not doing the work and you think, how come I have to do the work and they don't? Trust me, they have to do the work. And if they don't do the work, they pay the price. It just shakes even harder. Ignorance cannot protect anyone now. And it will shake until the ignorance breaks. So everyone will have to do the work. So don't worry about everybody else. Just make sure you're doing the work. Remember to take a pause every now and then. There's no rush. It will take care of itself. You can't miss this boat. Now that being said, I invite, I've got 19 viewers right now, which is the number of the Blue Storm, number 19. So in honor of the Blue Storm, I invite all of you who are watching now and everyone who watches this replay later to basically join me in a meditation. This meditation is going to last for about 15 minutes, more or less, I don't know. And if you can, find a nice quiet place to sit. If you're not watching this live, then maybe pause it and go find yourself a nice quiet spot. If you are watching live and you're in the middle of a busy airport and all kinds of things happening around, Jason, then tune in anyway and just block out what's happening around you. Really breathe. And now close your eyes. And if you feel like keeping your eyes open, then that's okay. I've got this beautiful power painting behind me that was a gift from a beautiful man named Tony, a beautiful artist. I've said beautiful 3 times. That's how beautiful I think he is in his work. It's a good thing to put your focus on. Or just close your eyes and relax. I'm going to close mine. Okay, so now. So with your eyes closed now, just allow yourself to get comfortable. So maybe shrug your shoulders a little bit. Move your neck around. Loosen off anything that feels tight. And just let yourself really feel how it is to be sitting where you are sitting now, where you are lying now, where you are standing now, however you are. And just breathing. Just really keep your focus on your breath and in your body. Breathing in through your nose, out through the mouth. And just again breathing in and out. So in this guided meditation, I'm going to invite you into a visualization. So with your eyes closed now and your breath nice and steady, keeping your focus on your breath whenever you get thrown off or distracted, letting any thoughts move through your mind. Just allow yourself to keep breathing and visualize yourself within your mind. Visualize yourself as if you were a miniature you standing in your brain. And you can see this kind of purple energy, this lilac kind of energy that's all around you. And just breathe that in. And you can see the brain and all its function centers and all these characters that are busy operating everything. Now, in this visualization, turn away from all the busyness of the mind and look behind you. And as you turn around, you see there's a doorway, an elevator doorway. And it's got a gentle glow, a kind of pink kind of glow that seems to be coming out of the doors. Walk over and press the button. The button has a heart symbol on it. So within your visualization, press this heart button and feel the doors open. And as they do, you feel this gentle, beautiful pink energy begin to radiate from this elevator in your mind, and it encompasses your body, the miniature you that's walking in your mind. So now, in your visualization, step forward into this soft, pink, gentle glow within this elevator and feel it. Breathe it in as it enters your body, as it enters your cells. And feel it really moving into your heart, moving into your body, and just bringing strength, bringing compassion. Feel a softness, a melting around the rigid locks and defense mechanisms you might have. And now you see there's another button with a heart on it in this elevator. Press that button and feel as the elevator begins to lower. You're beginning to move down now. You can visualize this like the elevator moving through your throat, moving down into your chest, the color changing from the purpley lilac to a blue, and then the elevator light now settling in your heart space. So in your visualization, the doors open, and there in front of you, you see your heart. Step in. So as you step out of the elevator and you look around, you can see this beautiful green garden, all kinds of plants and flowers. This is your heart. This is your chest. It's a strange experience. As you look around, you can almost see the oxygen is green, this beautiful soft green energy with little pink twirls coming through. Take a deep breath of that beautiful green, slightly pink hues energy that's in that area. Breathe it in deep into your body. And feel the freshness, the love, the compassion. And as you walk forward, you see an old tree. There's an old ancient tree that's sitting inside your heart space in this beautiful garden of your heart. Now bring your focus on that tree and walk up to it. And as you do, you can see that the tree is very old. It's very wilted. The leaves on the tree have begun to fall off. The branches are hanging down. It's thirsty. It's tired. It's exhausted. So see this tree in all its exhaustion, in all its tiredness and its hurt and its thirst. And put your hand on your heart and just feel the exhaustion. Feel the tiredness. Allow yourself to be vulnerable now. Allow yourself to be raw as you share this moment with this grand tree within your heart. Now, visualize a doorway, a golden doorway within this tree. You see it shining. The light, as you are connecting your heart with your hand on your heart, you begin to feel yourself in your visualization, connecting to the heart of the tree. And as you do, this golden doorway begins to become brighter and brighter. Now, this is the doorway into the depths of your heart. This is where you keep your memories. This is where you keep the heaviness. So in your visualization, I invite you, and do not force you, I invite you, if you feel ready, to ask for this golden doorway in this old ancient tree to open. And as this doorway begins to open, this golden light beginning to flood out into the garden of your heart, breathe in that golden light. And now with both of your hands on your heart, as you relax into this garden in front of this ancient tree with the golden doorway open, I want you to invite anyone or anything that is asking for your forgiveness to come through that doorway. Welcome them into the garden of your heart. As you do this, you may see some people that trigger some emotions. You may see some people that you don't want to forgive. You may feel some discomfort in your body, some aches or some pains. But remember, this is the storm. Stay present and feel the aches and pains. Feel the discomfort. And if you don't want to forgive them, you don't have to. But as a wise old tree once whispered to me, forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is for you. No matter who has perpetrated what upon your being, when the perpetration stops, you are your own prison keeper that continues the pain by holding onto the grudge. Now, I know what I'm asking in this meditation is no small thing, but we are not in small times, and you are not a small person. So I invite you, I call for you to invite the energies that wish for forgiveness to enter into your heart. And as you see them begin to approach, just look them in the eyes or observe the situation that is showing itself to you in whatever form you're feeling it right now. If it's a discomfort and you're not even getting visualizations, just center your awareness on the discomfort And I want you to say in your mind, even out loud if you feel it, as you're looking into the eyes of this being that wants forgiveness, or this event that wants forgiveness. And I want you to say, and I want you to feel these words. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And as you say this to each of these beings that walks into this space, feel how the lightness, when you forgive, you take a load off your heart. So when you forgive this person, see there almost like a black cord has been attached to them that you didn't see before. And as you go through this process, the Ho'oponopono, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You dissolve that cord. You release that person from your being. And as you do so, you return energy. You free your energy to go back into that great tree that is in your heart. So now visualize these beings coming, and with each being that turns up, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And with each one that you release through forgiveness, you see the great tree within your heart begin to strengthen. You begin to see the branches begin to lift. You see the leaves begin to come back. The flowers begin to blossom. The fruits begin to grow on the heart tree within your heart. That's the power of forgiveness. We do not get strong through fighting. We get strong through forgiveness. And when we forgive, and we allow that energy to return to our hearts, that power, that raw power to return to our hearts, we become truly invincible. And there is no need to fight. So now, I want you to see one last person walk through this doorway, this great tree. You can see it getting stronger. You're feeling stronger. You're feeling fresher, more clean. Keeping your breath deep into your body. You may have gotten shallow. Remember to bring it deep into your body. And now I want to envision yourself walking through this golden doorway and standing in front of you. So visualize yourself, look yourself in the eyes, feel yourself. Now this might be really uncomfortable, to the point that you drop out of the meditation and find you can't do it. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and feel into your heart space. And in that heart space, you stand within this beautiful green garden with this giant, majestic tree beginning to come fully alive. And there in front of you is yourself. Now I want you to hear these words and feel these words in your heart and say these words in your mind to yourself. I am so sorry. I am sorry. Please Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. And now, embrace yourself in this visualization. Hold yourself tight, heart to heart, cheek to cheek, and really feel yourself. And as you breathe with each breath, feel that other part of yourself begin to merge, begin to dissolve into your being. Your split personalities begin to become one in unity. Feel that connection happening, your hearts joining together. And as you do so, in this visualization, see this incredible tree growing so strong, so brilliant, so powerful within this garden. The animals within your heart, these little creatures, begin to become alive. The fairies are now flying through the garden. And you see a rainbow. There's a rainbow within this garden, right in front of you. Now breathe this rainbow light, breathing it in through your nose. Feel that rainbow light entering your body, into your heart. Your whole heart space is now filled with this incredible rainbow essence. And now I want you to bring all of your focus into this heart space. And just like the atomic bomb, I want you to go into your heart, and you see there is a point there where the rainbow is at its strongest. I want to bring all of your awareness onto that point of the rainbow deep in your heart, where it feels like it is all of the intensity of the rainbow is stored. And I want you to put all of your love, I want you to put all of your forgiveness, I want you to put all of that passion and focus it into that point. And as you do so, I want you to visualize setting off a chain reaction within this rainbow of your heart. And as you breathe that energy into it, it expands and explodes. And just like the atom bomb, it begins a chain reaction of love. Visualize that rainbow sphere beginning to radiate out of you. It's now filling the room that you are in, the airport that you are in, the environment that you are in is filled with this rainbow essence. Now expand that out even further until it begins to cover the entire country you are in. And now expand that even further in your visualization until you can see the entire planet Earth. And see this time-ship Earth and cover it with this incredible rainbow frequency. And now with your next breath, expand that rainbow energy out into the galaxy. And as you do so, see little lights beginning to blip up on the planet. Begin to notice that you are tuning into the frequency of all the other rainbow warriors, the light workers, the awakening ones, whatever you want to call us. Eventually, it will be all of us. But feel in your vision, as you are looking at this rainbow light expanded around the planet and through the galaxy, see in your vision planet Earth and see how many lights you can see. And if you really tune in, you'll see more and more appear. And that's the synchronic, that is the telepathic connection of the noosphere, that you are connecting to all of these other incredible beings. This connection is there at all times. All you need to do is return to your breath, open your heart, release yourself through forgiveness, and connect to them. And together, we are creating one hell of an organism that's going to bring the greatest change this universe has ever seen into being. Now bringing your awareness back to your body. With each breath, just feeling your awareness back in your physical body, maybe moving your neck around, moving your shoulders a little, stretching your fingers. And bringing yourself present again to the day out of time, here and now, the silence before the storm. And open your eyes when you're ready. And now I want to thank you all for joining me tonight and taking part in this first off event for me. It's been quite an experience having to work out all the technologies, but I'm getting there. So thanks for being patient. That's right, Raphael. It's a beautiful world. Thank you so much for your words. It means so much to me to be so connected, to see all this coming. And it's such an honor to share it. So if you want to stay tuned for the Galactic Mayan weather reports, where I give you a daily update as to what's happening, every day on the Facebook page, Galactic Mayan Weather Report, the link is under the video. Check out that, make sure you like it, subscribe to it, put the post up top. And then every day I endeavor to put out a new post. Every few days, I'll be doing a video. And the video will go on the YouTube channel and then be posted into the Facebook page. So if you click subscribe on this YouTube channel, I've just started this one up. I've had to tidy up a lot of the old ones. The mirror's been hard at work today. I'm going to be sharing a lot of videos based around the 13 moon natural time calendar and the Mayan Tzolk'in. I will be sharing videos around the gene keys, which is another system that I work with, which has changed my life. The two beautiful things that have changed my life. And I might even share a little about human design if I'm inspired. So they're the three systems, the Trinity that I work with, that I'll be sharing here. And I'll also do a bit of fun material here and there as I feel drawn. So don't forget to subscribe and keep up to date with those things. That's about it for now. So I'm going to wish you the most magical year of the storm and leave you to it. You know where to find me. Have lots of fun. And remember to be kind to yourself and gentle to everyone. All right. So much love to you all. In Lak'ech.